RHS Pre-Calculus presents Rational Functions and Graphs. The goal today is to demonstrate how to graph a rational function.
Today we will be graphing f of x equals 2x minus 1 over x minus 3. First, we need to find the domain. The domain of a rational function of x includes all real numbers except x values that make the denominator 0. The domain of this function is all real numbers except 3.
Next, we need to find the vertical asymptotes. Vertical asymptotes are the x value that make the denominator 0. The graph approaches this line but will never touch it. The vertical asymptote for this graph is x equals 3.
Now we need to look for horizontal asymptotes, or slants, in the graph. The horizontal asymptotes and slants are determined by the highest power of x in the numerator and denominator. If the highest power of x in the numerator is greater than the highest power of x in the denominator, there is no horizontal asymptote.
If the highest power of x in the numerator is less than the highest power of x in the denominator, then the horizontal asymptote is y equals 0.
If the highest power of x in the numerator equals the highest power of x in the denominator, then the horizontal asymptote is the leading coefficient in the numerator over the leading coefficient in the denominator.
When the power in the numerator is one more than the power in the denominator, you have a slant asymptote.
In our equation, f of x equals 2x minus 1 over x minus 3, the highest power of x in the numerator and denominator is 1. Therefore, there is not a slant asymptote, and the horizontal asymptote is y equals 2.
The vertical and horizontal asymptotes we found are graphed accordingly. The next step is to make a t-chart to find key points.
When choosing points for the t-chart, you want to choose x values from the left and right of your vertical asymptote. Primarily, you always want to choose 0 as one of your x values.
For today's graph, we chose the following x values: 0, 2, 4, and 5. Once you've chosen x values, you plug the values back into the equation for x.
After we plugged in 0, 2, 4, and 5, we found the following y values: 1/3, -3, 7, and 9/2. Finally, we can plot these points. The final graph looks accordingly.
We hope this helps you next time you are graphing rational functions.